The simplest way of dissolving the ego is also the most direct one. Instead of trying to fight against the ego on its own terms, we are just going to bypass that sense of being an ego completely, and we are recognizing what is foundational to being. First of all, we can just realize that the ego as some kind of actually existing thing or entity simply doesn't exist. Wherever we look, we never find a truly existing self. But having said that, what can be there is this strange sense of somehow being a localized center to experience. Whenever we are seemingly caught up in a mental construction, there is this fixation going on in our experience, then what seems to coarise with that is the sense of being the one who is fixated, who is now somehow localized and trapped. And this whole construction can be dissolved effortlessly. We don't even have to prevent it or stop it from occurring. So how are we going about that? Very simple. We are going to be very uncompromising with this whole ego fixation construction. Instead of trying to dissolve it directly, we're just going to shift to the foundation of what we truly are. What qualities, so to say, are inherent to being. Well, one very powerful antidote to that ego construction is to simply recognize that being itself, this awake openness, is without center. Right now you are having this experience of the visual field appearing in front of you. But what you don't find is someone or something over here on the other side who is having that experience of seeing. Yes, there is the openness of awareness, the visual field appearing in it, but there isn't someone who is taking all of that in. It is just here, in this simple presence. So, having recognized this awake openness, we just drop the recognition, just allowing it to sustain itself naturally. Whatever is left of this fixation, don't worry about it. It's here, but it's not a problem. Our fascination, our devotion, our curiosity is with this amazing transcendental openness. At the same time, by simply being with this openness, the relative worlds of form and shape and color is totally included. So we are not in some kind of dissociated space. No, it's much more simple than that. Just in this fresh, open presence, where nothing needs to be done. So in this way, we're not doing the hard work of fighting against a fixation. Instead, we're shifting to this direct appreciation, this beautiful taste of this awake openness. And this aspect of recognizing the centerlessness of being, of awareness, is really potent. in dissolving that fixation. Now, you can as well take any other aspect that is foundational to being to achieve exactly the same effect. Instead of noticing the centerlessness of being, we could just as well just notice the boundlessness of being. We don't find a center, but we also don't find a boundary or limit. We couldn't say where awareness stops or starts. It is here, but unfindable. Just a light recognition of that. And we're not holding on to that recognition. We're not turning that into a new fixation. As a matter of fact, another kind of ego-making fixation can look like, I need to recognize being itself, awareness itself. So when that kind of fixation occurs, we just lightly recognize, this doesn't need to be sustained. It's already here. Nothing to be done. Just that simple statement. Already here, already awake. And drop the effort. That's enough. So in this way, whenever we notice a fixation occurring, and we're seemingly caught up in it, just recognizing the foundation of being is enough to unhook from that fixation. And then it's just allowed to be there. There is no need to do any further work. So we're doing the minimal amount that is necessary to then just appreciate the openness that's already here. Likewise, if we find there's a fixation of somehow being disconnected or dissociated, we just return to the recognition that being is already all-inclusive, already fully intimate. And again, just dropping that recognition and allowing that to be there naturally. Being itself doesn't require effort to maintain it. It's already the case that a center, a boundary, and a separation cannot be found. So just returning to that recognition is enough. And then we're just here, where nothing further needs to be done. It is complete as it is.